Sheikh Gummi has released a video claiming that he has been listed among Boko Haram figures marked for elimination. In the video, Gummi says he was informed that his name now appears on a list of people identified as terrorist elements or key enablers to be eliminated. He describes this as a serious development and says the information came from within Nigeria's security system. The video was originally recorded in Hausa language, but we have translated it into English for wider understanding. Take a look at the video and I will be back.
Now listen to this. This isn't new, is it? On the morning the bomb was planted, at 8 o'clock, I had just laid down when I received a phone call. I won't tell you who called me. He told me that during the official security briefings, which are meetings where information about safety and threats is discussed, it was said that I am on a list. This list reportedly contains the names of people believed to be members of Boko Haram, and those on it, including myself, have been marked for elimination. He called me directly from Abuja during a security meeting to inform me that I have been marked for elimination. And who are these Boko Haram? Then around the afternoon prayer, we were going for the tafsir session during the fast. I will make a projection.
This claim has drawn attention because it is being linked to recent counter-terror actions involving the United States, especially operations targeting extremist groups and their support networks. According to available information, the United States has shifted its counter-terror focus beyond fighters in the field. The focus now includes people seen as ideological, logistical, or narrative backbones of terrorist organizations. Under this approach, those who defend, justify, or protect terrorist groups are treated as part of the terror network, not as neutral voices. This is where Sheikh Gummi's record becomes important. Gummi is not a new or accidental figure in Nigeria's terrorism discussion. For many years, he has repeatedly involved himself in direct engagement with bandits and terrorist-linked groups under the name of dialogue. These were not rumors or secret meetings. They were documented interactions with armed groups responsible for widespread violence. He has appeared publicly in photos and videos with militants openly carrying military-grade weapons. These meetings were done openly and shared widely, showing clear association with armed groups operating outside the law. Sheikh Gummi regularly criticized military operations against terrorists and bandits. He often described such operations as unjust or harmful. At the same time, he rarely condemned the crimes committed by the terrorist groups he engaged with. Those crimes include mass killings, attacks on villages, kidnappings, forced displacement of communities, and religious persecution across northern and central Nigeria. These incidents are well documented by security agencies and humanitarian organizations. U.S. counter-terror strategy treats repeated public defense of terrorist groups as a form of support. From this perspective, people who justify or protect terrorists through public influence are considered force multipliers, not innocent commentators. This framework helps explain why Gummi is now being viewed differently. U.S. counter-terror operations are driven by intelligence and usually follow long investigations. These investigations involve tracking communications, mapping networks, following money flows, and studying ideological influence. Targets are selected based on long-term patterns, not single statements. Under this method, Gummi's public support for armed groups, his opposition to military action against them, and his repeated narrative framing are assessed together. Recent US-linked operations targeting terrorist camps in northern Nigeria, including Sokoto State, appear to have expanded beyond physical camps to include wider network disruption. This matches US practice of dismantling both fighters and those who support them from behind the scenes. This broader approach increased attention on individuals believed to provide ideological cover for terrorism. Other events add to this background. In late December 2024, Gummi publicly called on the Nigerian government to stop military cooperation with the United States. He criticized US military actions globally and urged Nigeria to cut ties with American defense and intelligence partners. Nigeria's cooperation with the United States includes intelligence sharing, surveillance support, training, and logistics used in counter-terror efforts. Public calls to end this cooperation are seen as weakening Nigeria's ability to fight terrorism. When such calls come from someone already linked to terrorist sympathy, they raise serious security concerns. Another important development happened earlier in 2025. Saudi Arabian authorities deported Sheikh Gummi and barred him from taking part in the 2025 Hajj. This decision was made long before the current situation and was not connected to recent military operations. Saudi Arabia rarely takes such actions without strong security reasons. Clerics are closely vetted, especially those with international influence. The decision placed Gummi among figures considered unsuitable for unrestricted religious access. From a US intelligence viewpoint, such actions by foreign governments usually support existing assessments rather than create new ones. More recently, Middle Belt stakeholders issued statements calling attention to terrorist sympathizers and enablers in Nigeria. These statements were released days before Gummi's video and were connected to wider counter-terror operations, not his personal claim. Their position was clear. Terrorism in Nigeria survives not only because of fighters in the bush, but because of people who defend or justify violence in public.
So I think, to a large extent, we should, much as we eliminate the ones in the bush, there must be a similar treatment given to those in government. The likes of Sheikh Gummi, if the country was functional, the likes of Sheikh Gummi, Nasir El-Rufai, they should be behind bars or taken out or possibly live on exile. But unfortunately, you find a policeman standing behind a man who speaks on behalf of terrorists simply because he has some religious, pedigree or whatsoever he wishes to call it.
Gummi's claim also raises a troubling issue. In the video, he suggests that people inside Nigeria's military or security agencies passed this information to him. If true, this would mean sensitive security information is leaking to someone seen as a terrorist supporter. Such leaks are serious counterintelligence failures. When security information is shared with sympathizers, operations are compromised, lives are endangered, and terrorist networks are protected. It also suggests possible sympathy or compromise inside security institutions. This problem makes counter-terror efforts much harder. Terrorist groups survive not just through weapons and fighters, but through insiders, sympathizers, and information leaks. When institutions are compromised, even strong military action loses effectiveness. This helps explain why terrorism in Nigeria has continued despite years of military operations. The current situation shows a deeper problem. At one level, terrorist camps are being identified and destroyed. At another level, ideological and narrative supporters are being re-examined. At the same time, internal weaknesses threaten enforcement from within. The US approach treats all these levels as connected. From this view, Gummi's claim is not isolated. It fits into a broader counter-terror strategy that targets both armed fighters and those who support them indirectly. So far, no Nigerian authority has confirmed the existence of an elimination list or addressed the claim of information leakage from within the military. The situation is still developing.